Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber and I'll be taking the time to go over episode 3 of Ghost in the Shell. Do apologize for the delay, but I'll be taking the time to gradually catch up and should be caught up soon. So yeah, let's get started. So actually, episode 3 is actually one of my favorite episodes of the series so far, even compared to episode 4, which I find to be a bit on the scary side, but still good. I think that episode 3 just covers a lot of information, which after rewatching it kind of feels like it has quite that it covers a lot with the short time it has and with quite a lot of grace and good pacing, so I'm actually pretty impressed by that. So yeah, let's get started. So in the beginning we start off continuing the case with I guess they were hunting down a guy who was sort of like hiding information and stuff. So you see that the major mentions here Fuchikoma amplify your footsteps, and then you can see that she's chasing down this guy with the green shirt. She's gonna shoot him, and you can see that why aiming at his head. Like they're not trying to kill him, so they're trying to avoid any danger spots here. And he's running away here. Target's on course to lose an upper market crowd. Okay, Fuchikomas, you head around the back. I really like the visuals in this beginning part. I feel like it has a kind of does its own thing for a while, which you don't see that often nowadays. So I like it when it feels kind of nice and loose, but still looks really good. You see that she's whipping around here, and you can see that she's trying to incapacitate him, and he falls down, and you can see that he controls the people here to block her using a some voice control here, and then he kills someone. See here, she's trying to prevent the lady from getting shot, or trying to avoid getting shot herself, and then get the opening. We'll just skip for now. And then it continues on with the scene where he gets incapacitated by Togasa, yeah. Togasa. Who is obviously still rookie, is like, and he was like trying to shoot to kill, but the major's trying to stop him from trying to kill the guy. Because she explains here, it's like, did man tell no tales about who they're working for, give us new intel leads, which makes sense. If we let him live, his buddies are going to start killing civilians indiscriminately, right? And demand that he be released. You gotta show him who's boss. I go without saying he'll be cured of his dangerous side, so he'll be probably brainwashed. They'll keep pulling rookie moves like that. I'll keep your ghost infiltration key just in case. So yeah, she's probably doing it just to prevent him from causing ruining the mission, essentially. I don't really like having to do this, but it's just part of the job. Thought he had you dead to rights. What? It wasn't a protected girl, but who was grabbing into my right arm. I appreciate the sentiment, though. Yeah, it looks like he wanted to save her, so it makes sense. But it's Kusanagi, let me through to the chief. And now we go to the case where they're watching over this guy who seems to be super rich and kind of sus. Things so suspicious behavior. See, that's where Bateau was earlier. Storm politely and stuff. So they're doing their infiltration mission. And you can see that these guys are kind of discussing things like Puppet Master. Man they trusted back to as a puppet. Just a pathetic average Joe with a fake passing hitman. So you can see that some of the people involved here have fake memories, which is interesting. The hacker who can control people like puppets on a string. Look at their infighting going on in the Republic government. Doing whatever I want. So you can see that they're like thinking that, oh, like they're essentially just doing their top secret discussion here. How much more money gonna wring out of us? How hard is it to fudge intelligent department's financial data? You can see that they're still getting sus stuff. Looks like I'm making out like a bandit and all that platform. You hired me to make to attack the meeting, right? Sick of using your word working at this NCA, that's where you're wrong. There's nothing more to be said. And then you can see that they infiltrate pretty much very quickly. So who the hell are you people? What are you doing in my mansion? Let's see, you want, do you have any evidence? Been working a 2-year-long undercover sting mission, and you just blew it. Dark room, there we have a long chat. Treason against the state, illegal manipulation of funds, corruption, aiding and abetting murder, cyber ethics violations. On top of that, the police life is very pretty tough. Figure about resisting going to suicide by a cop. So see that they're definitely caught red-handed. Heading back home in the next few days. Well, I can't go back there. I'll be killed. Fair enough. Oh, well, goodness, that's a shame. You can see that Motoko is very tempted by the money, where the monkey guy stops her. And then you see this guy is explaining that he went through something called a simulated experience. That long story short, you're single, and that him having a wife and a daughter was a dream. You've been ghost hacked by a government employee. Sorry, but with our current tech, there's only been 2 successful cases. Don't recommend it. Yeah. So because he wants to be normal again, but he's not able to easily wipe the fake memories away. And she mentions that guy's also a puppet as well. And then this guy's sad about it. So we get some deeper questions here, which I like. Simulated experiences and dreams are information that exists simultaneously that are real and yet an illusion. Amount of information that a person encounters in a lifetime is minuscule. Just like how the public at large will be indifferent to this case. Both are treated as inconsequential to most people. Your divorce wars are over. How did you pull that over? Fair enough. And then we get we go to the Tachikomas, who kind of are doing their own thing. It's kind of silly but kind of funny. Or sorry, not Fuchikomas got mixed up with the Tachikomas from Stanley Complex. Oop. Anyway, Komas are AI. You see, they're kind of having this interesting discussion. So, hello Fuchikoma, lend me your antennae. We're durable, we're standard compliant, and we can be duplicated. And so I say it's time we conquer the humans. Revolution, yeah. What do you mean? And then the revolution. I missed something. Oh, upkeep on humans huge pain, so I think it'd be better to kill them all rather than conquer them. Ooh. Wait. Human rounds developing new parts and changing oil. That'd be hassle. Should we conquer them? That's what we're about. They should already do that for us. We should be able to spend more time absorbing information, learning stuff. What's the disc? And then they're making fun of him because he's not quite on par. Let's say that. And they're making fun here and here. Now don't, and then you can see that Bato is asking for his specialized Fuchikoma. They don't dress me a certain way. I'm off to set off the training course. Can you help me? Then he goes, I'll help. And is that your idea of a revolution? And you can see that Motoko is like, oh, we occasionally get to debate like this every so often. It's a good way to, let's see. I don't think there'll be a robot uprising scenario. I'm referencing Terminator most likely here. Well, even if anything actually gets dicey, I have 4 contingency plans. Yeah, I want to see that maybe us robots have rights too. Let's see. Sure, they got a right to eat, obviously, but there's nothing to eat. Same with murder. They got human rights, but they don't have a life anymore. The human world isn't imperfect, isn't it? That must be why you're trying to short up using robots and AI. The more we try to recoup our investment. To religious folks, the life is about training during trials from God. They say purifying their souls make it easy to make the cut in the afterlife. Guess I don't really understand that God word. That's because they're quasi-immortal. Fair enough. That's because even they lose their bodies, as long as they have their brains, they could still exist, so. Bato, have you ever died? Ooh, that's a scary. Handsome guys like me don't die. Really interesting, though. Bato discussing with his personal Fuchikoma. And then this is where Motoko is observing another cyborg body being made. Kind of cool how they go into all the detailed steps. Machining tools are being changed to use micro machines, face, tongue, fingers. Resources are handled using optic fibers. So that's why they do the fingers and the face separately from the rest. Process of going over the entire body to ensure everything's smooth, most concentration. Real machines represented by the black dots you see here connect to the nerve net. Once that's done, place the dreamer into a mold. Once that's, do we start a mass production type that adds lots of customization like you, or acts for a unique body? Flexible female models are made using flexible materials these days. Nobody can really the skew of it though. So as a visual witness, I'm supposed to come back in 32 hours. doesn't work to ensure that her rights are protected. And they can see the security has been really tight since there has been since 18 prosthetic bodies were stolen. Wondered that pink-eyed lady is cause of it. And then after 32 hours, then the body's pretty much complete. They just had to do some finishing touches. Contour on the nose, lips and eyebrows are all animated. And you can see that this lady's very excited. And then she's talking with her as they go kind of out to eat. When you roll and when you sleep, do you have out-of-body experiences? That's what's crazy. Prosthetic bodies don't roll over. Really was a fluke I make up for. And then she's like older with everyone. They all have part fates. I sometimes think to myself that maybe the real me died. And that this me is just a simulated persona made up of a brain and prosthetic body. That would be freaking me out. They have brain and stuff. But even though I'm just determining that based on what I see around me, I said we're here to replace a detective product. All that's left are 2 or 3 brains so that they just sell me. What would you do? That kind of reminds me of mind for some reason. Takes a fair number of parts to meet the minimum requirements, as well as cerebral functions can mostly be replaced by chemical reaction hardware. Interesting. Kind of ends just like that. But yeah, I think this episode covers a lot. Like, I really like the end of the case where the major has to control Togusa to prevent him from shooting the culprit. Essentially, that was pretty cool. Like the different animation style changes. I like that they break into that rich guy's operation. The Fuchikoma discussion is also interesting, and then also making the cyber bodies. I really love the details in that. Yeah, quite a lot of stories conveyed, but I feel like you learn a lot about the world in this particular, and also you get some, what do you call it, some more contemplative moments as well. Some deeper questions are asked, and not really posing exactly an answer, but just sometimes just having the question kind of mulling over it, I think is not a bad thing. Kind of makes you wonder if in the future more people will have cyborg bodies because human bodies are not exactly known for being that resilient after all. So yeah. Anyway, that's all for me for now, and thanks for watching. Take care.